My name is Mary, and I'd like to welcome you to just an ordinary spot in the Florida upland. When I was given this spot, I came out here and looked around and thought, what could I possibly say about this? And then what I noticed is I started feeling really quiet and peaceful. And as I looked around, I thought, this is why there's so many colors of green in the Crayola color box. So look around and see all the different colors of green. And not only that, if you look down at this plain old dirt, you can see colors from white to gray. There's some black in here, all kinds of roots. Some pine needles over here that are disintegrating, they'll turn into mulch and they'll be food for insects and other itty-bitty critters. And if you look up, sometimes there are white clouds up there, but just allow yourself to really take in the colors as if you're in a natural art museum. Greens and browns and blue. And then, if you will, close your eyes for just a minute. And notice if you hear anything. What do you hear?
I believe I heard a woodpecker.
Mm-hmm. A woodpecker and birds. I even hear some what I call urban noise that probably understate. So it's there, but it doesn't have to detract from what we're experiencing here. And if you're in the sun, just take a minute and let yourself feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And do you smell anything?
Fresh.
Fresh, cool air. When I was here before, I smelled the lingering aroma of smoke from somewhere. But today, it's just fresh air. What a treat. So how about if everybody takes at least 2 big breaths of this fresh air. And if you'll look over here, there's a dead tree that I know now is called a skag. It's just hanging out there. It's dead, but it's still providing shelter for maybe a woodpecker or something that could burrow a hole inside. And that's the end of life. If you look right here, these very tight cones are the beginnings of life. Actually, they're hanging out there waiting to be the beginnings of life because this is a sand pine. This answered a big question for me because when I was growing up in Central Florida, we used to go cut down our Christmas trees where Disney World is now. But as I looked at all the long needle pines, I thought, how did we ever get an ornament to stay on there? And when I realized what this is, that's the Christmas tree. We would cut the tops off and use them for Christmas trees. And by the way, back then, it took a 4-wheel drive vehicle, a truck, and because there weren't any roads to get out there, if you can imagine. All-day trip to where Disney World is right now. This is a sand pine. And it's a conifer, just so that we have a few vocabulary words here, meaning it bears cones. It has serotinous cones, and that means they're really tight. And they stay that way until a fire comes through and the tree dies. And this tree is adapted so that the tree dies, the cones hit the ground, and after the fire is over, up sprouts at least a few sand pines in what was burned. Standing next to that, actually leaning on it, is another kind of tree that has some of the same needs and probably some different needs. So maybe there's a social lesson for us here of two different species living right next to each other in what looks to me like peace. So again, listen to the bird and look around at all the things that you can see and hear, and then also be aware of the things that you can't see, because this is prime rattlesnake territory. And rattlesnakes have got to have something to eat, so they're little critters living all through here. So just be aware that with awareness, it's safe to play in the woods. There are things that you can see and hear and experience, and also things that you won't see. Thank you.